are you are you?
I'm Christian.
You're a
Right
Christian.
up, yeah, since I popped out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So am I.
I actually had a really hard time my third year of college. I'm in my fifth. I'm a pre-med student, music major. I went through a biology course here, 180. One of the hardest classes on UW campus. And we went through evolution, learned about Darwin and everything. And I was sitting in class one day and I realized that so much about science is so real because it's so factual, but yet a lot of it can't be explained. So much about the Bible is so real, but yet there's a lot of it that can't be explained. A lot of it that can't be explained. I texted my mom that day and I was like, you know, one, I don't think that we were all made from two people, because there's no way that the other 800 people in this classroom are all cousins of mine. I don't think that we just poofed here, because it just, women were not made from one of my ribs. And the fact that we have like geographical evidence of like fossils and whatnot that we all came from like back in like Pangea, you know, all the continents were around the same area. So I don't know, I was really kind of messed up in the head for a minute, and my mom she was really pissed that day. My uncle of mine is a pastor. She talked to him. He called me that day, that afternoon, and was all trying to get me back on track, and I didn't really want to hear it because I was kind of hurt because I didn't know what to believe. I'm a strong believer, but yet it's like I can't hold on to anything right now. I felt lost for a long time.
So let me start with this. The Bible there's no science in the Bible whatsoever. There's no hard science in the Bible. So the book of Genesis, the creation account, it doesn't tell us how God created. It doesn't tell us what process God used. It answers two other questions. Who created and for what purpose did he create? So in the beginning, God created, and then the Bible reveals he created us for the purpose of loving him, being in a love relationship with him, and loving and serving each other. And so no science could ever contradict the Bible for the simple fact that there's no science in the Bible. And if you ask yourself who wrote the book of Genesis, probably Moses, and who was he writing to? He was writing to the Israelites who were positioned to go take Canaan, to go cross and go into the promised land, and they were shaking in their boots. So it wasn't the purpose of his writing, it wasn't the intent of his writing to say what process God used. There are some people who believe God used evolution as part of his process. I don't believe that. I do believe that there's evidence for evolution, but you have to look at evolution in two ways. Evolution as an origin or evolution as a process. And I think evolution as an origin, I don't think there's evidence for that.
And that's what you believe, the origin.
When you follow the evidence of evolution, I don't think that there's enough evidence for evolution as an origin, meaning that's how we all just started, was evolution. And I would think it would be such a miracle for us to evolve into what we are now that it would have to be a divine hand on that if God did use evolution as a process.
Were we made in his image?
Yes.
So why do we have hundreds of fossils and scientific papers written on our Cro-Magnons and our Neanderthals and other like ancestral like Homo sapien like species? So did we start off dumb?
Here's my problem with the fossils.
Did we start off with small brains and then grow into what we are now?
My problem with the fossils is the lack of evidence for transitional fossils. So if one species evolved into a different kind of species, this earth would be littered with transitional fossils that show that evolution. But we're missing so much of that evidence that I can't take that leap. I can't take that step. I'm convinced that if that evidence came out and this earth was littered with transitional fossils, then I could entertain that as a possibility. But right now, I just think that that's such a gap, that's such a big gap of missing evidence that I can't go there. Do I think that species within and of themselves can evolve? Yeah. I think there's evidence for that. But evolution as an origin, because of the missing transitional fossils, I can't take that step.